Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Radio Jonesy, and in this video I want to talk about, when you get into your elder years, like especially when you're over 50, there's certain things in life you really should not be sharing with friends, colleagues, workmates, even family. And here's some reasons why. Since I've aged, I've learned there's certain things that you don't need to tell people, and there's certain things people probably want to find and they want something out of you. But when you reach that half century, you've reached 50, even 60, even older, there's so many people out there that just want a piece of your history to either make them feel good or to maybe try to put you down a little notch, because certain people get in these competitions, whether it's a social club, friendships, partners, work colleagues. Everyone's trying to take you down. Everyone wants to chip away at you. And once you realize you don't really care and it doesn't affect you, that's when you really are in front. But if you start sharing things like your financial situations, or maybe partners you had in the past, or maybe work colleagues you've worked with in the past, and somehow the circle goes around and someone's working with that person right now, you really just got to keep most of your personal stuff to yourself. Let the world do what the world does. Let everything go round and round and round in circles. And you just concentrate on you. Because there is only, to cut it right back to the basics, it's you. You might have children. You might have a husband, a wife, a partner. You might not. But it's you. And if you don't look after you, no one else will. So what's the point of sharing past financial glories or past financial collapses with work colleagues or occasional friends or other family members? What's the point of it? What are you going to get out of it? Just my advice once you reach 50 is just to not share personal information with most people that you hang around with. Well, basically any people that you hang around with, to be honest. That's what I'm saying. Seriously. Because I've had friends in the past, they've invested in Bitcoin, and everyone smashed this guy and said, "You're throwing your money down the drain. It's a waste of time." Well, he turned his money over tenfold because he got in early. And he got out. So he got out by about 80%. So he's still got about 20% of his profits still in Bitcoin. But because he talked about it, he was just hammered by other people. Like, everyone knows better. Everyone thinks they know you, or they think they know how you should spend your money, or why don't people just worry about themselves? They don't. That's the way of the world today. But this video is about just trying to reinforce the fact that if you just concentrate on you, don't worry about, spilling the beans. People talk about, I'm spilling the beans on this, and I'm telling you about in the past this happened. Well, the past is gone. The past is history. The past is never coming back. History might repeat too, but your past is gone. Like when I was 24, running around football fields, having a great old time. Well, them days, look at me now, them days are way gone. So what's the point? What is the point of sharing stories, past glories, or bad times? If you need to share, there is a medical professional, and if you need to get stuff off your chest, you can. But the good old days of sharing a beer down the pub with your mates, telling a yarn, a story, maybe you're stretching the truth a little. Who knows what you do down there? But them days are gone, Like, you go down the pub these days and people are looking at you saying, wonder what can I get out of you? Like your shout. You're going to shout this time, all that sort of stuff. Or have you had a win at the races because I've had a bad trot? Like, oh, you haven't got a spare 20, have you? All that sort of stuff. It seems to be more prevalent today than it ever has. Like, what have you found in your situations? Is that a common occurrence? Because it does seem to be that way in this day and age. So there are other stories too. Like, I've got friends who sold up everything and wanted to travel, go on the trip right around Australia. And people are saying, why would you sell up everything? Oh my Lord, you're never going to make it. You might break down, you might, car might blow up. Why? Well, if that person, let me tell you, that person had a great time, traveled around the countryside, found a lovely location to move to, and basically uprooted, like when they sold up, and set down roots in a whole new coastal location, which changed their life for the better. And that would never have happened if that person just listened to all the friends and family, let me tell you, and family. People are scared to let things go. People are scared to let you go. There's like, how many people are connected to you as in like you feel, or they feel they can't get by without you, or they need to have you as their backup plan, or that's gone. Once you're over 50, you let all those people off the hook. You just say, see you later, alligator. I'm just doing my thing. And if you like it, you do. And if you don't like it, you're gone. Because that's the way it is. The main thing to take out of this conversation, and this is Radio Jonesy, the conversation channel, is to look after number one. Number one is the main priority at this stage in your life. If you find yourself a nice place to live, pay off the house if that's what you can do. Downsize if that's what's good for you. Like maybe you don't think you need to downsize, but sometimes moving to a new location is the best thing in the world. Like rediscovering yourself, getting away from the negative people, finding joy out of little things in life. There is just so much to gain at this stage in our lives. Like my grandfather always used to say, there's no point being the richest guy in the graveyard. And I had that conversation with someone today. And it is a fact. Like I heard that conversation when I was around 13 or 14, when a family member had a work accident, passed away. And the conversation was going between uncles and aunties and parents and cousins, and that they were just talking, like, geez, he worked hard and he was a good guy, and shame about the accident. Was he too tired, and why didn't he see it coming, and all this sort of conversation. And my grandfather, I was there, this is like before the wake got started, really. This is before the alcohol took effect, because wakes can be like, especially in country towns. But my grandfather looked at me and just said, Steve-o, there's no point being the richest guy in the graveyard. No, there's no point being the richest guy laying down in the graveyard. That's the exact words that he said to me. And as a 14-year-old, I used to love my pop, and he'd rub me in the head and scruffle me hair, and he'd say, mate, he said, you be looking after yourself because no one else is gonna. And those choice words really are small in stature, but huge in affecting my upbringing, and stuck with me and hung with me. There's so many little comments that he said to me. It wasn't my father, it wasn't my mother. Mainly it was my grandfather. He used to say things like this, and like stupid things too. He used to say things like, I used to think, why would you rave on here he is again. Steve-O, a car gets you to point A to point B. It's not a fancy set of clothes to wear. It's just a car to get you there. And you used to think about it, like I used to go, what, and then later in life, why spend, like back when I was a young bloke buying my first new car, it was only like $8,000, and that was a lot of money. Look at new cars of today in the 2025. You've got to take out a second mortgage just to get a new car. Like, how ludicrous is that? Just think about it. It's nice to have the bling, but at what cost? Anyway, the moral to this video is sharing too much information with different people in your community, your circle of friends, your work colleagues, your group. Keep things close, keep things tight. Look after number one, that is you. Excuse me for pointing, but yes, it is you. So look after number one. Look after the youth of your retirement. That's what we're in right now. When you're in your 50s and 60s, it is the youth of your elder years. And you've got to make the most of it. You've got to enjoy life. Go see some live music. Sit down at the beach by yourself and just listen to the ocean roar. Sit outside, go for a walk in a trail, listen to nature, the wind. Just sit down and listen to the wind going through the trees. Like the little things in life are just passing us by every day. And we're on 90% of us are on a treadmill, just running around in circles, getting nowhere. So take care, look after number one, and try to make your life of your elder years the best time of your life. This is Radio Jonesy. Until we meet again, I usually say ciao, but I've got a new saying. Life's great in Tasmania. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to our channel.
Where you going to? Said some wise ass, cut my grass, I'm gonna cut him in two. Hey, big boy, how do you know? Said Megan Fox, an old box car, and a pack of no-dos. Why did she run? Would have known that you'd fall. I don't know about you, man, but I don't care at all.